Today didn't really go the way I expected it to. My housemates and I were all in the kitchen, and we were just kind of doing, making breakfast, having our kind of regular day-to-day. And one of my housemates was doing some cleaning. I went out for a run, and when I came back, she was still cleaning, and me and my other housemate joined in, and we started to clean the lounge together. We pulled the sofa forwards, and I won't relay the horrors of what we found behind there, but what we did when we decided that was thought maybe now's a good time to rearrange the room. So we ummed and ahed about whether we wanted to do this, as we were all we'd kind of got into this kind of cleaning, refreshing end of year mindset, and we decided we would start moving things around in the space. And we, over the course of the next several hours, redesigned the entire lounge. We have ordered some artwork for the walls, one of the photos that I took on a trip I took earlier this year. We've put a mirror on the wall, and the whole space feels fresher and newer and way more exciting and inviting to be in. And this all came about sort of by accident, but what we have done is we have taken a space that we love and we've made it even nicer. And that was a slow and it was a step-by-step project for us, even in a very, very short, concertinaed way. And that's what I want to talk about in this video, is the idea of just getting into stuff and getting your teeth stuck into doing a project that is going to give you energy and be something that is enjoyable. I think getting into something is really important when it comes to making work. I think when you're trying to create something, you need to be able to get deep into it. I mean, the concept of deep work has been around for a long time, and flow states and all that stuff that I've read a lot about. I'm sure a lot of you will have seen that if you're watching this. So I won't delve too much into the concept here, but the key thing being that something needs to be challenging enough, but not too challenging for you to enter this state, right? And I think a project sometimes can be a great version of that. What on earth do I mean by a project? So I'm talking about something that isn't just an individual act in a moment. So to me, a project is like this video series, right? I'm doing a video a day for the rest of the year, and that to me is something that I am actively wanting to change and iterate upon every day until December 31st. And part of that is about the craft of making this. So this one video is not a project necessarily. This is a part of a whole picture. And the whole picture will be determined by the parts that are within it. And that is only going to come from building on it day after day after day after day. So a project could be something small, like our lounge. You know, that was a day's work, but there were lots of steps. There was the cleaning, there was the moving stuff, there was drilling things into the wall, there was ordering artwork, there was lots of different component parts into building it out into what it wants to be. And whilst we've done the bulk of it now, obviously the artwork or the photograph hasn't arrived yet. That will be going up at the end of the week when the print comes in. It might be something that will take a little bit longer, like a few weeks, like this video series, say, or a commercial campaign, or a project like that. Or it could be something much longer form. I've been working on a short film since 2022, and for various reasons I've not got it finished or made yet, not shot it yet. The money is the reason, to be clear. When I say various reasons, it's money. Or a novel, or stuff that becomes a body of work over time. I think of amazing photographers whose work I really admire, and so much of their stuff is built over years and years and years and years. Joel Meyerowitz is a photographer I really admire, and some of the photo books I have of his is work that spans decades. It's culminated in a project that becomes this book that becomes more than the sum of its parts, but the parts are also individually incredibly valuable. And for me, when it comes to creating something, a project gives you some structure to hang things around. I know that I'm going to be making a video like this for the next 17 days or however many it is, and I know what that looks like. I have some ideas, but I don't know how it's going to change. I know that I didn't mean to shoot yesterday's video on my phone, like you're watching this now. But actually, I like that form, and that was an idea that came out of necessity because of some issues I had with how it looked and how it felt. And therefore it has now become something better, I think, or more interesting to me. And now it becomes a question of how I'm going to iterate on that idea as the project unfolds. And that can only come as a result of it being a culmination of lots of different parts of work versus one individual task, as it were. And it's taking the tasks and turning those into bigger projects. And I think a project also then requires you to put in the work day after day after day. Like, I am showing up today after spending most of my day rearranging furniture and holding mirrors and drilling and doing all of these things that were not necessarily on the docket for my day when I woke up. But I'm really grateful that I've had the chance and the space to do that today. But then I had to travel to the Midlands because I've got a shoot later this week. And so I am now in a different place, and it is late. I have not eaten yet, but I set out to do this thing over the course of the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to do it. And that means I need to show up. And I think that maybe is part of what a project is as well, is showing up when you need to and doing the work step by step and day by day to make the thing that you want to make. I think giving yourself parameters when you're doing a creative task is maybe something really useful, or at least that's an idea that I'm trying to explore as I'm trying to kind of recapture the creative juices and the creative energy that I've maybe lost over this year. So, yeah, thanks. I will see you tomorrow.